Okay, I was given this perspective a while ago, and I believe that it is accurate. And it also ties into how much of this world or this reality, as we are taught, is inverted. And here's an explanation why regarding meditation and how to correctly meditate or how to correctly put the mind at ease or at rest. So the principle is when the body is at rest, the mind is active. But when the body is active, the mind is at rest. So, what are we taught? What have we been taught in all the New Age, yoga, Buddhist type teachings for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years as the popularity of Eastern religious beliefs or practices came into the West? So, we are taught the opposite, right? We're taught to put the body at rest and then to make the mind quiet, which really is close to impossible for almost everyone I've ever encountered or heard or I've experienced myself. When you try to sit and stare at a candle, when you try to clear your mind of thoughts, what happens, right? More and more thoughts come into the mind. The mind begins to race. The mind begins to think even faster. So what then is taught? Oh, you're not doing it right. You need to quiet your mind. You need to learn how to quiet your mind. So then what happens to most people that I've talked to when they do this, they end up having dozens and dozens of thoughts race through their mind until they get frustrated and they sort of give up. Or they just think about one thought over and over and over from all sorts of angles. You know, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? Should I have done something differently? Or they fall asleep and then they just end up taking a nap. What are we saying then? It's an inversion. It's basically a psyop as far as I'm concerned. If it goes back to Tavistock, if it comes from the Beatles, if it comes from the explosion of New Age beliefs coming into the West in the 60s, but even going back to the 1850s and 1860s when occultism and seances and all that became all the rage. Okay, so now let's reverse it. Go ahead and just do an objective practice on yourself. Test the theory out. Do something active and see if your mind is quieted. See if you gain focus and are in a relaxed state when you do something active. Put the body into an active state and see if the mind is quiet. Do a hobby, build something, put together a model, put together make a birdhouse, ride a bike, go for a swim, play a game, play tennis, play checkers, and see if your mind quiets naturally and you gain a sense of peace. And then if you notice, you look up and 20 minutes went by and you didn't even know 20 minutes went by. I think you will see that this is that polarity in life. The sun, the moon, hot, cold, sour, sweet. Apathy and indifference being the opposite of love. Not hate being the opposite of love, but indifference and apathy being the opposite of love. See then if when you put the body into an active state, even if it's just concentrated on putting together a computer or something like that, where you notice that the mind becomes relaxed and quiets down. Oh, and real quick, just to kind of insert how this principle continues to show up. So think of the concept that in the winter, the earth goes into a dormant state. The grasses become dormant, the leaves fall off of the deciduous trees, and they go into a state of dormancy. Not much grows. But then what happens with the sun? The sun becomes very bright and active. Think of sunlight during the winter and how it almost stings the eyes. How you need sunglasses on a cold, brisk winter day when the sky is bright and clear and you look near the sun or you feel the sun on your body and you can feel the heat almost burning your skin, and for sure you can feel the sunlight stinging your eyes. This is because in the winter, when you are in an area of the planet that is in a winter, the earth becomes dormant or less active, we'll say, and the sun becomes very active. Now it's the reverse in the summer. In the summer, the sunlight is less active, and then that's when the earth becomes more active, and we get the grasses shooting up, we get the flowers shooting up, we get the leaves sprouting out of the deciduous trees. But and yet when you look at the sun, yes, it's bright, but it's not that stinging, burning sunlight like you get in the winter. So it's kind of the same principle as the mind being active when the body is at rest, and then the mind becoming more quiet when the body is active. Okay, something I wanted to share. See if it works for you. And thank you very much for your time.